Captain Scoop. I don't care about planets. Jazz replies, all I care about is having sex with scary monsters. This might be tougher than we thought. So yeah, so that's definitely a
You fucking dement.
and then here I'm trying to get this and just don't quite have enough air to get up there. Um, but yeah, definitely been enjoying the game. You got Gene popping up here saying, don't get mad, but I may have broken the computer in your room. I'll be honest, I was using it to watch porn. What to do it that way, and that doesn't work, just because we don't have, like, it seems like we weren't able to get the angle that we needed, but at least though, but they're pretty weak, so, you know, one good shot and they're just down, so, you know, we got this guy coming behind here, you know, the low level dudes popped out his eyeball, definitely something I really enjoy. Through the jungle, you know, working our way downtown, walking fast, you know how it goes, taking out the G3. So we've got them all taken out. We got, you know, hello everybody, and welcome to this episode. Wanted to go over a couple things. So unfortunately, the last episode where I actually get Creature, the new gun, for some reason it didn't record properly, so I don't have video for that. And these next few episodes, my mic wasn't working, so instead of having it just be, you know, live commentary like normal, I'm gonna go through and kind of try to, you know, do the commentary after the fact. So it'll be kind of a little experiment here to see how that goes, since my mic decided to not record last time. But here we go. So yeah, so right now I have just defeated the first one of the brothers. Was able to get Creature, which he spits out these little things, and some of them can go and you can use them to get past the kind of shimmery little panels. And I was being, you know, assaulted by some mites here in Zephyr Forest. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of go from here. At this point, I'm pretty much trying to figure out which direction I end up wanting to go. And different, like the hybrid lab is the one that came before. I did rescue some humans out of there, and then looks like I'm heading over this direction. But yeah, definitely been enjoying the game. You got Gene popping up here saying, don't get mad, but I may have broken the computer in your room. I'll be honest, I was using it to watch porn. Which, you know, makes sense that he would be doing that. And successfully succeeded, but then I accidentally knocked the computer off the desk and it's broken. So, you know, I guess kind of happens. And then here I'm jumping down into this area. I'm gonna kind of see what ends up happening here. Just exploring and everything, kind of figuring out where to go. So there's one of these spots where I can use Gus to shoot his discs up. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop up there. You know, again, unfortunately wasn't able to get the live audio, so you're not gonna hear any of that for these next few episodes. Pretty much the entire time I recorded this this bounty, besides that very first one, my mic decided that it was just not going to work. So but you know, we're going to do our best with what we have here. And so here we go. I'm hopping over here using Sweezy. Definitely a big fan of hers, you know, liking the kind of needler action. You know, and then Creeper, he's kind of cool. He shoots off these little dudes. His special ability is you can have one of them go off and it kind of like brainwashes them, and so they'll like kind of attack the other people. So I've been liking using him. He's been quite fun. I did install the mod onto Kenny there, the multi-glop mod. So finally kind of got that figured out a few episodes ago. You know, you got this guy who's the claw dude. He's just sitting there kind of like talking some shit apparently. And so I'm just going to blast him from down here. Hit him with Sweezy a few times. Get him loaded up with the needles and then blow him up. But yeah, I mean, definitely appreciating all the support so far. Recently, just got to 50 subs and actually surpassed that. We're working our way to 60. I'm not 100% sure what we'll be on by the time this episode releases, because um, should be releasing here in probably a week or so from the time of me actually recording the audio. Um, but yeah, we're bouncing around. We're taking on the G3 like we've been, hitting them with knifey. Got to watch out. They got the sniper guys on this one. So definitely want to stay out of their range because they knock you back and knock you around and can knock you into this goop. But they're pretty weak, so one good shot and they're just down. So we got this guy coming behind here. The low-level dudes popped out his eyeball. Definitely something I really enjoy. Is that you either can stab it out and it makes a nice little satisfying pop noise, or you end up shooting it out and they run around just shooting their gun and can take out some of their own dudes. And here's Kenny with his multi-glop knocking this guy around. And I did notice there's the little we got the knife box up there, so we're gonna try to get up there and see if we can't give that a stab. You have noticed sometimes the blue ones give you like other stuff, like here looks like we got a comic book, Beyond the Stars 2 number 3, Jazz Skabbit works alone. Deceitful gambler Jazz Skabbit turns down Captain Skloop's offer to team up to stop the evil Lord Scran. But Lord Scran is going to destroy my planet, cries Captain Skloop. I don't care about planets, Jazz replies. All I care about is having sex with scary monsters. This might be tougher than we thought. So that's definitely a
You fucking demented.
in this world here. And then here comes Gene back. Oh, hey, I actually fixed your computer. So that's good. I can tell it's fixed because I just watched a bunch of more porn on it. Well, at least we know it's working. So there we go. Thanks, Gene. I saved all the best ones for you and put them on your desktop. Lovely. Best place to have that. And I'll set my favorite ones as your desktop background. Lovely. So, definitely go check that out once we get back to the home world and everything. Or I guess our home away from home, which is Blim City at the moment. But yeah, so just, kind of rocking through here. Doing what we can, trying to get through this little part, figure out where we need to go to take on the next, the next brother, because we're taking on the Squirm Brothers, I think is what it was. I don't quite remember what their names were. And so we're just kind of trying to feel our way around, get through the Zephyr Paradise here. But definitely, if you guys are enjoying the content, do hit that like button. If you are new here, hit subscribe. Make sure you're ringing that bell so you're notified when I do post new content or when I go live, because I have been doing some live streams of Baldur's Gate 3. And make sure that you leave a comment. Maybe leave a comment. So far, it seems like we got most of the guns, I'm guessing. I don't know if we get any more, but of the guns that we have, we got Gus, we got Creature, we got Kenny, and we got Sweezy. What's your favorite? I kind of switch between all of them as far as use, but I definitely think as far as personality goes, Gus is my favorite as far as when it comes to his personality. He's pretty chill, a little bit of a mouth on him, but not quite as much as like Sweezy and Kenny, and then Creature's just kind of weird, but he's new, so hasn't really grown on me yet. You could say he's definitely, I like his abilities and everything. But yeah, so over here, just kind of looking around, trying to figure out where we're supposed to go. Like with this, just a little area to get some more. To get that little comic book, and then maybe find a few pesos. So now we're trying to just kind of figure out where we need to go. So we're taking a look here. It looks like we can zap that, and then we can kind of get over here. I do recall this, because then it's like, oh, I jump off and just like, well, I just die, so that does seem to happen a few times in this particular section, just trying to figure out exactly what's going on. um, so I do try that a couple times, and then there's whatever that little color thing is, not exactly sure, maybe that's something that we can come back to. And then here's the way that I actually came in, was coming that direction. Um, and so yeah, so I do kind of look around here a few times. It doesn't look like there's a way to activate this zip line unless maybe I missed it, and if I did miss it, definitely let me know in the comments, and then I can go back and try this, because I do intend on kind of having a time where I go back and do a lot of this like backtracking, because I know with the different guns and different power-ups, I do recall seeing some areas where like you could use Gus's use his disc, definitely a few spots where we could use Sweezy's time stop, a few spots where we can use creature's ability, so I'm sure there's some good stuff we can try to do once we end up kind of doing some backtracking, maybe get some more boxes, maybe get some more trash bag babies, or trash can babies, I think is what they're called. Get some of those, some comics, maybe there's some other upgrades, because I know one of the boxes ended up having an upgrade for an ammo sack, so I'm sure that's how you fill that up. And then here I'm trying to get this and just don't quite have enough air to get up there. It does, though, give me the idea to try that once I come back here in a little bit. Gonna go up here, kind of search around some more. Remember, this kind of got me a little lost as far as exactly where I was supposed to be going, because it felt like I was supposed to go somewhere, but this just seemed like it was just pretty much led to that stabby box with the comic in it for the most part. But maybe I did miss something, and definitely let me know if I did. Been truly appreciating all the support, all the comments and the likes on the videos, all the views on like the shorts and everything. Been trying to do that. I have also started up a TikTok, so I have been posting over there as well. If you guys do use that platform, feel free to look me up. I do have a link to it in my channel page, so feel free to check that out if you enjoy the looking at TikToks and stuff like that. I mean, right there it seemed like I may have been able to get up top there, but maybe I got to get like another upgrade for the booster or something. Here I'm trying to take a look at that to see if maybe I can, there's like a zip line or something that I can generate, because I've seen those a few times. But that didn't end up working out. And so then I'm sitting on there, and it's like, okay, I'm just going to hop over here, kind of have enough of that. Don't really feel like, totally just, spinning my wheels over there. So over here, kind of trying to check things out, because I feel like that's the way I can go. Able to just kind of bypass that other area. And then, we're going to sit here and launch a disc up and see if we just can't, hop across. So end up getting on there with Knifey and his second ability. I'm going to try to hit this time stop so that we can do that. Hop across. We hit this. And unfortunately, I just am a little slow and then decide to just keep running into the fan, and then I die. So I mean, it does happen. It's the first time I've been playing this game, so not surprising that I'm going to have a few, foolish deaths here and there. Just still kind of trying to figure everything out. I know this does, I think, put in all the dudes again. So I do think I go through and decide to take him out, try to get some more of that Dura health back. Um, but yeah, definitely creature is very interesting. The way that he's just got these like little dudes that are running around. And so it's definitely interesting to use him. And so yeah, so we're just, you know, going through here, gonna try to see if we can't take these guys out again. You know, maybe try to just, you know, just taking them out. Not a fan of the G3. You know, they took over my planet. They've pretty much enslaved my, you know, my species and turned them into, you know, sentient drugs. And so we're gonna just take them out as quickly as we can, or at least a few of those, because, you know, like I said, we're filled up back on our Dura health. Come through here, we're gonna try to take out these sniper guys, but it seems like they're gonna pose some kind of a problem. Gonna take this guy out first, hit him with Sweezy a couple times, and finish him off with a couple chops from Knifey. Definitely a big fan of Knifey. I like, still like the Gus Knifey combo. I think that's a pretty strong combo because you're able to hit him with Gus, who does a lot of damage if you're close, and then can kind of finish off some of these bigger guys fairly quickly. But here we are, just kind of working our way through the jungle. You know, working our way downtown, walking fast. You know how it goes. Taking out the G3. So we've got them all taken out. We got, you know, a bunch of little dudes. Kind of taking a look in here, seeing if there's anything. Looks like a weird drill thing in there. But not too much else around here. If I do recall correctly, kind of take a look and ultimately end up deciding to just go in the back the way that we came through. Took out this sniper guy because he was going to definitely pose an issue. Already full up on the Dura health, so nothing there. Kind of got that. I mean, that weird crystalline thing, you know, seems like maybe there's going to be another gun. Because, I mean, we do have a few more bounties left. You know, we got these guys we got to finish off, and then there was like some professor-looking dude, and then, you know, I'm sure the big kind of brown dude, we're going to eventually have to take him out. That he was the one that you know, ended up smoking our old neighbor, Mr. Pilfrey. So, you know, we got to get some revenge for Mr. Pilfrey. Can't be doing that to him. So yeah, so here we're gonna hop back across, and then this time we're gonna really try to get this, because it is definitely doable. You know, so we're gonna try to get this. And so we end up charging up, you know, Sweezy here, and we're gonna try to just see if we can't stop this fan and get through just in time before it ends up hitting us. And so this first time we try to do it that way, and that doesn't work, just because we don't have, like, it seems like we weren't able to get the angle that we needed. But at least those, you know, the discs were still there, so then we can just kind of hop across real fast. Go over to the next disc over here, and, you know, then this time I do believe we do that first, and then we just gotta be mondo quick about it. You know, we gotta hit that, and then you're just able to get through and just able to get across there, and we're back on the right path after that little detour. Definitely was a clincher, getting through, you know. So, but yeah, we're here. We're exploring still, trying to figure out which way we gotta go through this Zephyr paradise. There is another portal over there, so we could take that home if we wanted to. We got these the armored mites coming at us. We're gonna take them out with some multi-globs real fast and a couple slashes of knifey. You know, we got the regular mites coming in and take them out pretty quick. Still got an armored guy. And so yeah, we just end up taking him out here in a second. You know, he's kind of hit him with the Gus a couple times, and he's down for the count. And so yeah, so then we kind of look up here, and it's like, okay, so this, you know, looks like something that, you know, we could maybe get to eventually. It doesn't seem like we can get to that now. You know, kind of checking out, reading through the mods, seeing if there's anything else. We do end up deciding to go back to the house here. I believe we end up doing like a little bit of shopping. Since we got some money, we end up going and like doing some upgrades. But we will check that out in here in just a moment after we come through the you know, Stargate sliders loading screen, coming home. You know, sister's still not here. You know, we go up, go and check. No way to interact with the computer. So if you did put any of that on, it's definitely not showing. There's some pictures of us. You know, still no sister. She's been gone, so she's obviously out with, I'm assuming she's out with Tweak. And then we end up coming over here, and we just kind of beeline straight for the pawn shop. We're going to go get some upgrades. Just because we're going to spend our money. I'm over here kind of trying to look for the little shortcut, because I kind of get a little turned around here and then end up finding it's over here by these stairs. And you can just zip up on one of these little bee things and head right into Mr. Keep's pawn shop. I'm going to go straight over here, take a peek at any upgrades that we can get. Can't get the jetpack booster, so that's probably what I need to get up to get the other thing. You know, we got some kinetic tanks, which will let my jetpack go a little bit higher. So I do end up picking up one of those. We got a little bit of pesos left, so I look for one of the cheap, like $800 upgrades. They seem to have those. So we got the postpartum Psytech boost. This adds a few wrinkles to creature's messed up brain to boost his psychic connection with his minion children. Also taking a look at the ammo sack. It looks like, you know, we're pretty much got everything for Sweezy that we could get, at least for 800. Here's the disc bladder, and then we could get another ammo sack or a bounce flector mod. And then I do think we go with the disc bladder just to make his discs a little bit better. Come over here, seeing what offensive thing that guy can say, and then we go ahead and head out. Because he is a little punk ass kid, he always be saying stuff right when we're leaving, you know, never to our face, but you know, that's how it goes. And so here, you know, able to kind of fly for a little bit longer. Been trying to do the run more, just to get places quicker. I know most of the time I was not able to do the run, so, you know, and we're coming in here, coming in hot to the house, going straight over here. And then we're gonna go and get this powered up. Yeah, the Screndel brothers. And so we end up going back and just go into the jungle clearing here, because this is where we were. And then it's like, let's activate the portal. Let's hop on in, and we're just gonna keep going and get where we need to go. Because we're all filled up. We bought some more upgrades. And then, you know, we're definitely going to be ready to go take on these Screndel brothers. Already took on one, but then he ended up running away. That was in the last episode. He kind of like would jump around and do like these weird, like, you know, Macho Man, like Randy Savage, like elbows on, and then it would make this muck kind of show up, you know. But at this point, we were going to be calling the episode. So don't forget to like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're new. Definitely hit that bell. And as always, much love, everybody.